What is going on, everybody? It's the What to Do podcast here with another episode. Just another one. I think this is number 65. We're just moving along. I got a special guest, someone that's just been dying to come on. And we just haven't been able to because she lives out of state. So this works perfectly now. And we got Blake Borden, but it's not Borden anymore, right?
No, actually, I haven't officially changed my name yet.
Okay.
But so it's still Borden officially.
But happily married.
Happily married.
Happily married. To all you weirdos out there. Trev. Shout out to Trevor. Shout out to Trevor. We love to shout out on this podcast.
I like that.
We like to start out with shout outs. We like to end with shout outs. But how you doing, Blake?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Life's good. It's busy.
You guys got a storm running through here, through your guys' area?
Yeah, I was nervous we weren't going to be able to do it because the lights just went out for a little bit. We had, it's been raining quite a bit. Classic Seattle weather, but it's been really, really windy. So the wind just came through and the lights went out, which happens pretty frequently up here. I'm not really that used to it, but it does happen.
How do you, because you're such a, as long as I've known you, you've always been like sun, hot weather, like river. I've always known you as like, I was the desert guy. You were like river. You're like, no, river's better. I'm like, no, desert's better. Like, I feel like sunshine is always like, summer's your favorite. Like, you just love the hot. Now, like going from like, there's not much sun in Washington. So like, how have you had to adjust to that?
Yeah, I mean, I do love the seasons up here. Like we definitely get snow at our house, not as much in Seattle, but at our house we do get snow. And like right now it's very classic fall weather. So it's like the seasons change like much more like frequently and like aggressively than I'm used to. But I enjoy it. But I do tell people like after the holidays until like summer is hard, which is like a lot of months. It's like January to like May, June is like can be hard. But we always like try to like plan some trips and when the weather sucks and we can like go somewhere else. And it's like a 2-hour flight to San Diego. So
yeah. And then, you know, a couple times you guys have like flown out here because you guys are going to weddings. And I think I think this year you guys have come out a couple times for weddings or like bachelorette parties or something like that. I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, we've been out quite a bit. Ever since we first moved, we didn't travel as much just because there wasn't a lot going on. It was kind of like still COVID, but we've been, and then of course, Quinn, was
Quinn.
Quinn, shout out to Quinn.
Shout out to Quinn, dude.
So we've traveled quite a bit. So
yeah, she's getting so big, and now, how does it feel to be like, for sure, like you're an auntie?
It's such a good feeling. Like it's so good. I'm so happy for Shannon and Brent, and they're just such great parents, which we all knew was going to happen. But, yeah, it's really good. It sucks that I live, far away, but honestly, I've been able to see them quite a bit with like, McKenna's wedding and just weddings and just, I was down in, San Diego for a couple weeks, almost 3 weeks over the summer after summer school. So I've been able to see him quite a bit. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
but it is cool.
She's getting so big. It's crazy.
I know.
But
I was
most
just
of the time,
FaceTiming.
Yeah, most of the time when I go over there, like it ends up, and I know it just doesn't work that way. Like it's not like Shannon means to do it. It just, I don't really get time to really hold her because it's like, usually like other people are over there, and Taylor, like, she is
She's a hog. Dude, just say it. She's a Quinn hog for
she's a
sure.
Quinn Hoggard for sure. But she also, like, I'm also happy for Taylor too. Like, she gets to enjoy that, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna more enjoy like the times when I can kick around the soccer ball with her and be like throw her around the room a little bit, stuff like that. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
no.
when Uncle Coco comes out for sure.
Uncle
So
Coco, Uncle Codfish. I'm gonna
yeah.
definitely have to tell her all your what's it called? Nicknames.
Oh yeah. You're when people ask me like, "Oh, what's some of your nicknames?" And the ones that stand out like right away are you were you always had Codfish. Morris Code was Connie. She's like, "Oh, Morris Code." I'm like, "That doesn't make any sense." Um,
Oh, that's funny.
and then Code Red, Codish. I'm like, "What is that?" But so,
Codster. We've definitely called you
Codster.
Codster.
Yeah, definitely. You guys have given me way too many nicknames, but um, well, kind of like getting in your family. One thing that we were kind of talking over in some of our notes were like how like I have kind of just became. I'm not like one of your guys' family, but I feel like I am. Like just kind of like, oh, is Cody going? Like, oh no, he can't make it, or like they would assume like, oh, Cody didn't want to come to lunch, and I'm like, I wasn't invited. And your mom, I remember your mom used to get so mad about that. She was like, Cody, just walk through the door. And I'm like, no, I need to be like invited in, or I'm going to knock on the door. And she's like, no, if we're here and the door's open, like just walk through. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. It's just not me.
It's just your respectful nature, but yeah, you have always been like part of the family. I feel like I don't know when it switched from just like, growing up church friend to just like a sixth or no, not sixth, fifth. There's four of us, fifth child in the Borden family. I don't know when.
But I also do feel like it might have been around the time when I started to realize you had siblings.
Oh, yeah.
So for the longest time, I didn't know. I thought Taylor was like your like cousin or something like that, or like someone related. Like, oh, she just always comes with them to church or something like that, and just always used to laugh about that. And you're like, no, that's my sister. Like, I was like, oh. And I think when I used to come over your guys' house a little bit more and stuff like that, but
Mm.
I always
Yeah.
thought that was funny.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we started going to Johnson when I was in 3rd grade. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it was 3rd grade, right? Yeah. And, uh, I just re the I can remember one of the classrooms, the one that I would have been in if I was in 3rd grade. I don't know what the setup is now, but I remember that one room, and I remember just cracking jokes with you, and we would just laugh, like, even, like, as just, like, early elementary, just kids.
well,
It
even like sometimes we weren't allowed to like sit next to each other because we'd be stupid, or like Cody, go
I'm
sit over
sure.
there. And you were like, darn it,
Yeah, those little classrooms, and yeah, I just remember that, and then, yeah, I don't even know. I feel like that's the first memory I have, and then the next memory is just, like, we're best friends. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
I think it was just because I mean, we did have a big like youth group when we were young. So like most of us all kind of like hung out with each other, but some of us were like I would hang out with Steven and Joel, and then, we would go over, like Steven was close with you guys. So then I would just hang out with you guys, and then all of a sudden it was just, and plus like you guys always had things at your house, like devotionals. So it was just kind of one of those things. And I want to say like when your dad had his accident, then my mom
Mhm,
had her accident. So it was like we kind of like went through like something kind of together. We're both
mhm.
as kids going through something. Um,
That's very true, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is very true.
so I think it was
Um,
just I think when I was 10 years old. 10 years old when my mom had her accident.
Yeah.
So it was right around that time. But definitely have to give you your flowers. Like I always felt like I don't feel like we ever had like when we were young, like deep conversations or anything. I think it was just always like really fun to hang out,
Mhm.
and we just grew to like have good conversations. Like, you know, you'd be dating someone at that time and we'd have like a good conversation about it. And I don't know. I just felt like we were always really close, and it was just like easy to talk to each other, you know, just
Yeah.
also and just being stupid and silly. I think that's always you and me have always had fun, like just laughing and always having good vibes.
Yeah,
And
no,
if
I
people,
remember.
yeah, if people weren't having good vibes around us, we're like, then you better get away from us because we're just gonna have fun. You know,
You gotta go.
you gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go. Yeah, I feel like I don't know, we're also so close in age, and like
Hmm.
we were in the same grade. There was like a big chunk of us that were like all around the same age and the same grade. But you were just always someone I could like call or text or whatever, talk to at church, and like just about, yeah, like whoever I'm dating, whatever, you know, thing that we're going through in life,
Yeah,
like, our parents or our siblings or, whatever it was. You were just someone that I could always like go to like for like genuine, you know.
I'm just what came to my mind is like all the stupid things that like would happen when like one of the funniest things, like the memory that sticks in my head so much. There's two of them. One of them was I was eating an orange. It was really because that's what happened too. Like I started to like I would hang out, you know, at devotionals or whatever, and I wouldn't be able to go home or something. So I'd
Mhm.
just stay the night in Brent's room with
Oh
Brent or
yeah.
whatever. And I'd have to go up those stairs. But I used to always hate going up those stairs at your guys' old house. But
A
I
lot of
just
people
remember,
have fallen down those
yeah,
stairs.
I love it. Um, but I remember I was like, man, I'm so hungry right now. I didn't eat anything at the devotional. And you guys are like, dude, we have all this stuff here. And I was like, there's an orange. I was like, I'll eat an orange. And I was like, I love a good orange. That was like one of the nastiest oranges I've ever had. Like, and
And everyone told you like, "Cody, please throw it away." And you're like, "No, I gotta finish
I
it. I started it. I have to finish it." It was like
just like
gross.
gagging, and I was eating the chips and I was eating them really loud because it was late. I feel like it was pretty late. It probably wasn't late. It was probably like 9 o'clock or whatever. But
Mhm.
and then the second one, you could tell it, but because you know it. When we were going to Bakersfield, like just so many conversations that happened in that car ride.
Taylor
So
just
stupid.
I don't even remember what she was doing, but she got yelled. Like my mom was just like fed up. Like, "Taylor,
Well,
knock it
it's just like a
off." I
Taylor.
don't
It was
remember.
the Taylor thing to do. Like Taylor, I remember your mom. We were like right around Anaheim area, and it's kind of stressful. Like Disneyland's going on. Like we just need to pick a place to eat. And Taylor was like, we stopped at like Carl's Jr. and Taylor's like, I don't want Carl's Jr. She's like getting mad, and I was like, and I'm just sitting in the back because I was just like, I don't really care what we eat, long as we eat something. And then you were in the back too. I forget who was in the front two seats, but oh my gosh, I just remember we ended up going to Taco Bell, and Taylor's like, I didn't even want Taco Bell. Like, it's just, and your mom was like, had it up to here. She was like about done. I
Oh,
remember
that was
you
really fun.
spilled the
Yeah.
beans.
I spilled beans on myself. Yeah. I do
I was
remember
like,
that. But
oh,
I
there's
just
beans
remember
all over your shirt.
I think that's
Oh,
what it was. Like, Taylor got yelled at, which was hilarious the way it happened. And then I spilled beans on my shirt and I didn't notice. And then I think you were like, "Dude, you spilled beans on your shirt." And it's just like
but then like
so
I think
many funny things.
we're like in the I think like the worst part of like when you're going to Bakersfield, like going down the grapevine, like there's nothing. You're
Mhm.
just straight shot. And Taylor just out of nowhere, just like, and then your mom's like, Taylor, you have to stop.
That's the part that I remember. It was just like,
Taylor, you have to
yeah,
stop.
Taylor, you have to stop right now. I don't even remember
But
what
you're
she was doing. She was like, I think she was she making the whole car shake or something? She was just like
I
moving
just think
around.
because the music, like all of a sudden, like a song she liked came on, but it was complete quiet in the car, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she was just like started moving. Your mom was like, "Taylor, you have to stop." Nobody even laughed. Like everybody's just Taylor stopped immediately and just sat there. We're like, "What the
Oh,
heck?"
probably just so offended.
And then
Ugh.
one more funny one that just cracks me up is my tent caught. Um,
Oh, that's such a good one. Oh my
when I would
word.
just be, I was that was fresh off of like knee surgery. I could barely walk. We all went camping, and I brought my dad's tent cot, and you guys are like, "That's what you're sleeping in?" I was like, "Yeah," and you're okay. That's what Taylor was going down the mountain. She's like, "Cochina, cochina, cochina." I sound like a Mexican when I say it. I was like, Taylor, I'm in the tent cot. I was like laying there listening to music or something. But I just remember you guys I put my tent cot like right next to your guys' tent. You guys were like talking to me at night. Like,
Yeah.
Cody, what are you wearing? I was like, my shorts and a shirt or whatever. Like, I just thought you might have been naked or something. And I'm like, why would I be naked in there? It's cold. Like,
Oh
but
my
I think that was
word.
like you, Haley Carlisle, and like Taylor, like all shared a tent, and we'd all like sit there and talk. And that was fun. I just
That
I just
was
felt like it
really
was always like we always had like funny vibes, funny things.
fun. Mhm.
Yeah, there was never like any moments where I'm like, man, I can't stand Blake right now. Like, I don't know. I don't know. We just always, at the end of the day, it was always just fun. And
Yeah,
if you ever needed me, like I was there for you. And I know that if I needed you, you were always there for me too. So
for sure. At any also like it was like at any moment in time, like even if we hadn't talked for a little bit or whatever, or life just got busy. And I think I remember calling you a few times in like either the middle of the night or like very late for me because I go to bed early.
yeah,
But you would always pick up or always like respond no matter what, even, whatever it was. And that's, just a good friend.
just a good friend, almost just like a brother. I think that's how
Exactly.
I view you. Borden's as like Brent's like my brother, and McKenna and Taylor and you are like my sisters. So it's always been like you guys always showed love. So we always we always just have some funny good times. But um one thing I did really want to get into, it is funny for me because as long as I've known you, you've been in school. Like you just school, school,
Yeah,
school. And I'm like, man, like Blake is a professional student. Like she's just really good at it. But um you have your master's now, right? Or your
I have 2 master's degrees now.
good night.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't recommend it.
Are we
Don't
still
do
doing
it.
school at all? Like random? Like you're doing like
No, I just graduated in, when was it? June, and I
are you
got
sure?
my yeah, I told everyone, I said, "No, I'm done. I'm for sure
We're
done
not gonna
not
see like
doing."
some random thing where you're going to a trade school or
Yeah.
just for fun
I
or
wanna be an electrician now or
I'm just done. I just want to be an electrician now and maybe do automotive.
something else, just, no, I'm done. I don't ever wanna pay for any more school. I don't wanna have homework on the weekends or school at night. I don't ever want that extra responsibility ever
Yeah.
again.
Now, in the field that you're in, and you can explain to people the field that you're in, and I guess it's interesting because I think you're one of the first people that I've kind of ever really known, like in my life, that's kind of like gravitated towards this avenue of like line of work, working with kids that have special needs and stuff like that. Most of it I just never really known. What kind of like drew you to like wanting to do that? Because I know like you talk about nurses, and nurses gravitate towards that because they have this like feeling of they need to help, and they just have that like, I don't know, that little itch in them to do that. But what was kind of your like when you were doing school and stuff? What was kind of like, I want to do this, and this is something that I really want to keep pursuing? Oh,
Yeah. Um, well, honestly, uh, I graduated with my bachelor's from San Diego State, and I still, even right before I was about to graduate, had no idea what I was going to do with my degree. I don't even remember what I was doing. I'm sure I was nannying. Um, but for one of my like fieldwork classes, I had to volunteer at a school. Um, for it was for a class that I needed to graduate, and it was my last semester. And I got placed at this elementary school that was near San Diego State, and their biggest need was they needed um, someone to support one of the students. It was a kindergarten class, I'm pretty sure. But it was a 5-year-old girl. She was from Africa, and she came with her family to the United States for medical care. She had cerebral palsy, and they were just like, literally just hang out with her if she needs help with her out, throughout the day, in school. And so once a week I would go just hang out with her and help her where she needed. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I think like within a month or two, I had applied for my teaching certificate.
hmm,
And so I graduated and then went right back to school for my teaching cert and in special ed.
yeah,
And then got my master's also. And then I think within a month or two I got a job at a private school for people with disabilities. And that's kind of, where I stayed for years and eventually taught there and as a teacher, and then, um, moved on. But I would say like probably just that internship field work where I got to work with that little girl with CP was like, you know, a seal in the deal.
change your perspective. Yeah,
Yeah, I just was like, this is what I want to do. I love it. I loved hanging out with her. She read books back to front. So she would like open the book from the back and she wanted to like read it backwards. Um, I still remember that. I think this is like, I don't know, 2015 or 16, I think. I don't know. But
okay,
anyways, yeah, that's how I just knew I knew I wanted to work with people with disabilities, I think was just what I really wanted to do. I don't think I ever like I know I didn't grow up and I'm like, I really want to be a teacher. I just really want to be a teacher, It was
yeah,
never uh you know, something that I still to this day like I don't think of myself as like when people say teacher, I just what I do I feel like is very different than what most um teachers do. But
teachers do. Yeah, and just to explain to people too, like, or let's go back a little bit. When you started working in OB, that was OB, right?
Mhm.
Um, that was like you had a full class, right? You had your students, or were you an assistant there?
Yeah, I started working as an assistant while I was getting my teaching certificate. Mm, and so I was just like a support person in the classroom, but it was for people, it was a school, a non-public or private school for people with disabilities. And I was in the transition age classroom, one of them. And so it services if you have special needs, you receive services through the school district until you're 21 or 22, depending on where you live. Um, and so I had 18 to 21 there. And so it's vocational skills, life skills, like how to behave in public, how to go to the grocery store, volunteer work, how to if you can't work full time, what can you do? Can you work for an hour a week doing something that you're good at? Or how can you help a business out with like your strengths, even as a person with disabilities? And so we were out in the community and, getting kids ready for adult life.
Yeah, and that was just high school, or was that
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah, the class that I worked in was that like 18 to 21. And then I don't know, I think I was an assistant for a year ish. And then um I like was in my teaching or student teaching time where you like work under a teacher. But California has this thing where like if you're doing your student teaching, you can work as a teacher like under supervision. And so my boss was like, "Yeah, I want to hire you as a teacher." And so I worked for my student teaching time. So
Okay.
I did like 6 months, and I did my student teaching like under Molly. And so like
Shout
under
out to Molly.
shout out to Molly. And so yeah, I taught, and then Molly and I taught together at that school for a little bit before I moved on.
Now, just to kind of like to explain to people that don't know exactly what you do and like what does a day look like with because is it are you working with severe?
So when I was in California, yeah, I had it states like terminology is all different, but
Hmm.
in California it was a mod severe. It was either you taught a mild mod class or you taught mod severe, and I had mod severe. And then same thing, I'm in Seattle now, and um it it's not mod severe, it's called like distinct, like you have a, a distinctive disability. So
Okay.
yeah, but it's like you have significant needs and you're severely impacted by your disability.
Yeah. Now, kind of lay out like if you can like what your day kind of look because I mean like because when people hear teacher they just think oh like they're teaching this subject they're teaching like it's very taxing um just talking to a little bit to Tessa and talking to you and people that have been in that field that it is very like it is very draining. You're with these kids and it's a lot on your body, a lot on your mental and like patience. Also to be kind still, like try to
Mhm.
understand. Because I'm sure they probably test your patience a little bit and
Just a
um
tiny bit.
yeah, just a little bit. But at the end of the day, they don't know. I mean, that's the thing is, I guess you could just like explain it a little bit more because I know like a little bit like these kids are smart. Like they know exactly what they're doing when they do it. It's just
Mhm.
there's certain functions don't work. Certain things their brain doesn't work at the capacity that we do. Um,
Mhm.
but just to kind of explain a little bit of what your day kind of looks like and taking care of these kids and kind of the ups and downs of it, and the good things too, about working with these kids.
Yeah. So I did 1 year in California before I moved to Washington with it was mod severe, but it was like a kindergarten through second grade class. And so it was fun. It was like, they're little kids and um they're cute, and it had its like pros, but I learned doing that 1 year of, like, early elementary that I don't have the personality for, like, that, like, bubbly, like, just I just don't have the personality for it.
Yeah.
And so, when I wanted to go back to, like, adults, um, and so a position opened in Seattle, and we were looking to move, and so it worked out. So I'm back now to adult transition, and I've been doing that for 5 or 6 years now. 5, um, in Seattle. And so, a day in adult transition and a day in, like, a typical special ed class is a little different. Um, we come in at the end of the day, we're looking at creating the most independence for these guys, in every capacity, right? So, like,
Yeah.
we come in, they have established, like, their own morning routine in the morning, and then we come together as a group and we talk about the day, we incorporate, like, kinda typical, like, my morning meeting was very a classic thing to do in school in general, but especially in special ed. But that we just talk about how we're feeling, what we're doing for the day, who's going where. We're community based. So we're on public transit, we're like going out and about, learning how to go to Target, learning how to like go find something in the dairy section or, whatever example. So um, yeah, we talk about our day, we talk about who's going where because we're not all, like, in a group, right? So, like, I might send a small group to the grocery store, I might send a small group to, like, a volunteer site. Everyone's going in different areas, and so we just talk about who's going where, um, and maybe our plan for the week, and we talk about the weather and what we should wear when we leave. And then we all kind of disperse and either it depends on the day, like, sometimes we've taken a cooking class once a week, so we go somewhere and we take a cooking class as a group, or, like, on Mondays, I have, like, 3 different, maybe even 4 different job site locations where our students are, like, going and practicing. Like, one is, like, a local, like, pizza place, and they come
Mhm.
and they, like, prep pizza boxes. And so they'll come and they'll work for a half an hour just, like, prepping pizza boxes. Um, and so everyone will kinda disperse, and then we come back for lunch usually, and everyone kinda hangs out. I let everyone, like, pick a movie or a show that they wanna watch during lunchtime, because it's kinda different, right? Like, we don't have
Yeah.
classes, we don't have periods, we're not really, like, associated with high school. So we kinda have to create our own, like, breaks
Yeah, like
and every school
schedules
is
and
different.
stuff like that.
Yeah, but I kinda have to incorporate that, like, into our day, whereas if you worked at a typical high school, like, that would just already be embedded into the daily
Yeah,
schedule.
next
It's like
class is coming in,
yeah,
our next period or whatever it is,
yeah. So I let everyone take a turn and, like, today we're gonna watch Fairly Odd Parents. It's, like, one of the students' favorite shows,
Heck yeah.
so they'll just hang out, eat lunch, do what they just veg out. They need a break. And then the afternoon, we always get out and, like, go for a walk because they're sluggish and they need to move their body a little bit. And then come in and work on some, like, individual, like, work tasks, and that's either with me or with another.
How many aides do you have? I'm sorry?
I have a
Typically.
lot this year. I have a lot this year because I have some, like, really high need students. So I have 6, and I have 5 students and I have 6 adults.
Okay.
So,
And
it's
that's where
quite a lot.
that individual help can really help
Yeah,
that one kid, to where
yeah.
you can focus on other kids too.
And that just happens be usually because, their behaviors are severe or can be severe, and
Yeah.
aggressive or for, whatever reason. So it's just like for safety for them and for us and for people in the community and, you know, all that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I just know sometimes, like, I guess I just wasn't really, I'd hear a little bit from you on like how your day went or something like that. And you're like, oh, it was crazy this week or something. Like I'd go over your house or something, we'd hang out and you're like, man, dude, like it was just really taxing this week. And I just think people don't really truly understand, like, I mean, you might agree or you can disagree with me, or set me straight on it, but I feel like sometimes it's a little bit of a thankless job. It's kind of something that people, because I mean, you're giving a lot. You're giving a lot to these students, and sometimes they might, bite you or say something back to you, or they might not be the nicest to you, and you still have to have that same like kindness and patience. Um,
mhm,
and then you have to go home and be like, all right, like now I have to be patient with my kids. Now I have to be patient with my husband or like whatever it may be or wife. Like I just,
yeah.
it's something that that's why I wanted to kind of bring light to it a little bit because it is something that I think people kind of just forget about and just like, oh yeah, well, those students just get taken care of. And it's like, no, it's a very taxing job and you have to coordinate with, I'm sure parents are also hard to probably deal with too. Because that they feel like maybe their son or daughter's not getting the needs that they need, or when you're like, we're just trying to get them through the day. But
Mhm,
um, yeah, I just wanted to definitely bring some awareness to it, um, especially because being around someone like Wyatt, Tessa's son, it has like just opened my eyes to like autism and people that do have special needs. And it's, I think it's sad because sometimes those kids don't get treated like kids still, like they just get treated like, well, they have their issues. And when like sometimes we'd be at like a party or something and people would not like they maliciously would exclude Wyatt from something, but they would just kind of just, well, he wouldn't want to do that, or like Wyatt's not good with the physical touch, like he just doesn't want to be like if someone just comes up to him and gives him a hug, sometimes he's like, I don't know you, like you have to kind of warm up to him. I guess what I'm saying is it's hard. It's hard to
mhm,
have a relationship sometimes with them, and it takes work, takes a lot of love and care, and um, it's taxing. It's not something that's just like easy to do, you know.
mhm,
Um, but I know sometimes you're probably just in grind mode and just going, but um, I'm sure all those parents and those people appreciate what you do for their kids, and yeah, just making them feel like they're people too,
mhm,
just because they have their disabilities and their things that are, sometimes we say what's wrong with them, but sometimes like with Wyatt, like some of the really cool things of just him like paying attention to things, or um he's a little booger, dude. Like he's smart. Like he knows what he's doing sometimes. You're like, all right, you know what you're doing. You're being a little ornery. Um, but
But that took you getting to know him, right? Like, that's family, and that
yeah.
took you getting to know him, and that's how I see my job too. Like, the first few weeks of school, you're usually pretty like, this year I had a whole new class, which doesn't usually happen in special ed, but, I really just think relationships fix a lot of those issues, like relationships with the kids, definitely relationships with the parents and getting to know them and their like what makes them tick and getting to being able to read them because I have kids too, like who are probably like why don't want to be touched, don't want to be looked at, don't want to be,
Hmm.
whatever. But I have to be able to get to know them so that I know, their strengths, their, areas of growth and the things that make them, um, go off or get upset. And if I didn't know those things, I couldn't take them out into the community or have like a successful day with them at school. So,
Yeah.
but it is hard. Like, I mean, just yesterday, I got a table thrown at me. Um, a cup of water, some kid poured a cup of water on my shoes, my feet. What else happened yesterday? A couple days ago, a kid ripped my sweater. I had to throw it away.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Well,
but like that, those are things that I think I that's why it's hard for me to like associate myself with like just teachers in general because my day and their day are like completely different. They're just totally, but what you're
yeah.
saying is right. Like it's hard. Like you can't it's hard. Like you get smacked or
Yeah.
get a
It's
table
sometimes
thrown
it's
at you. Like
yeah, it's thankless. Like you got to think like some jobs, like you're in like say customer service, like at some point sometimes people are saying thank you so much for what you do and like thank you for helping me get this done. um or say like me, I'm in the sign industry, so it's like sometimes I get to actually meet the clients and the clients are like, dude, this looks so good. So like sometimes you get that like gratification from those people
uh-huh.
when sometimes you're not going to get that gratification
Yeah.
from them saying those things. You're going to get it from like helping them and seeing them grow and the progression that they get. Um, that's kind of like, it's more because sometimes like I kind of learned a lot from my mom too. Like I kind of use the same thing with Wyatt. Like my mom, like there are certain times like she'd just do like pull my dad's hair or like like
Mhm.
my mom would get the water thing and go at dinner and slam it down, and my dad would be like, Penny, like no, you're gonna break the glass. And then she'd just be like, she'd break the glass, and you're like, man, like she knows, but she had
Yeah.
brain damage, like she just,
Yeah.
so like sometimes people are like, man, that was a lot of work to like talk to that person to make them feel like they're excluded. But at the end of the day, like you actually get more out of it when you're with those people than you would actually think. Like sometimes people will be like, well, when I was hanging out with those kids, I didn't get anything from it. And they're like, well, you're kind of looking at it in the wrong way.
Mhm.
Um, but I think this is just kind of like, it's just learning. I guess it's, and kind of, I think it's wisdom, just kind of learning that, okay, I'm going to get more out of it when, I guess it's kind of like equating like when you give someone a gift and they don't give you a gift back and you're like, are you going to give me a gift? And they're like, no. You're like, okay, well, I'm never going to get you a gift again. That's
Yeah.
not why you should give gifts. You should give gifts because you want to give the gift. And I kind of use it to the same as like taking care of them. Like you're taking care of them because you feel like that's the right thing to do and they need help.
Mhm.
And
Well, and the right people have to do it. And I don't like this is gonna sound like I'm like tooting my own horn, but like there's so many people that I work with that just get so fired up. They don't have patience and they're not in the right field. Um, and they make
yeah,
everyone's life harder. I mean, we all know like think about any job. We all know someone who's just like so unhappy. Like,
yeah,
you know, and then you think about that and like my day to day, and it's like, listen, but bus drivers, this is like a pet peeve of mine. This happens a lot with bus drivers, and it's like you're making a hard job even harder. Like,
yeah.
go work somewhere else, please, because you are making my life hard. You're making the student's life hard. The parents probably don't like you.
Yeah.
You are just, you know, and it's not just bus drivers. Like I have colleagues that I work with that I'm like, dude, you're in the wrong field.
Yeah.
Um, But it's like you have to take the small wins. You have to take the for sure the small wins. You have to be lighthearted. You have to find the humor in just the funny things that happen every day. Like, I could write a book with all the things that I've seen and heard and
Yeah.
supported students through, but it's like, I'm not shocked by anything that I've seen or done, but you have to be lighthearted about it, and you have to, get to know parents really well, and they have to trust you and know that, you're on their team no matter what. At the end of the day, that's all parents want. They want their kid taken care of while they're not there. They want them to grow. They want them to have fun. Um, they want them to, like, enjoy life, and that's literally it. And that's my essentially my job. So, um,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
already, for the parents too, like, I'm sure the parents, it's already like, that's not something that they want to have to worry about, is like when they send them to school that there's like this teacher that's horrible to them, when they already have to deal with several things themselves when the kid comes home, and they
Mhm.
have to deal with that themselves. And um to all of a sudden tack on that some teacher at school is just horrible and
Yeah.
hates working with them, you're like, oh man, that's because I guess for a regular student, like for you and me, like we go to school, and like if I didn't like a teacher at school, and my dad was like, just deal with it, like I don't
Mhm.
know, you don't have to worry about, we're gonna figure it out, we're just gonna be students. But
Yeah.
them, it's like they can't go home and tell their parents, oh yeah, the
No.
teacher was yelling at me because I accidentally spilled something onto their shirt and they had to get a new shirt. When at the end of the day, the shirt is just a shirt, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
But you have to
but
be someone that thinks like that in order for this job to be,
yeah,
successful, like, you're not gonna survive, you're not gonna thrive, you're gonna be, just upset all day, every
yeah,
day, but you do have to, you know but there is an element too, like and, like, you mentioned this with Wyatt and with your mom, like, I know those guys like the back of my hand. I know when they're just acting up just to be a clown, or if they're, they didn't sleep the night
frustrated. Yeah,
before, or they're frustrated, or another teacher snapped at them and whatever, a million things. Um, you have to know them well enough to, like, hold them accountable when they're just acting up, and you're like, "Okay, I know what you're," just like any young person, you know? But
yeah,
as a teacher, like, I have to know when that's happening and kinda push a little bit, but I have that relationship with the parents, number 1, that they trust me, that when I'm, you know, kind of pushing their kid a little bit, or, pushing them past their limit, or trying to get to that point, like, I know I have the parent support in doing that.
yeah,
I'm not being rude, I'm not being mean to their child. I want their child to succeed, and I'm gonna push them where I know they can be pushed,
yeah,
and talk to them like they're an adult, not like they're 3. That's another
yeah,
pet peeve of mine.
yeah. Especially when a lot of them are like, yeah, the kid's he's not a kid anymore. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
He's
It doesn't matter that I mean, I've had
20 years old.
adults that I mean, a bunch of my students now, like, I can think of one, like, all he wants to do is watch PBS Kids all day. That's, like, his show, right? But he's 20. And so developmentally, maybe they're, quite significantly behind, but at the same time, they're an adult, and you don't need to talk to them like they're 3.
Yeah,
They can understand you. Um, verbal, nonverbal, they're still adults, and, they're not babies. It's like nails in a chalkboard, because there's, like, service providers and, um like OTs, speech, PT, like all those people that come in, and I will give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't spend all day every day with the student. They might have like 60 kids on their caseload, and they see this kid for 20 minutes a week or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's nails on a chalkboard when they're like, "Oh, do you wanna" I'm like,
Dear.
"Yeah. What do you need? Do you what oh, do you like that?" And just like,
Should we be doing that?
yeah, it's like, "Can you" I don't know, just, please, they're adults, please just yeah.
Wow. Good
"Oh,
job.
you can write your name? Wow." Like,
Get a load of them.
they'll look at me like, "Did you know you can do this?" I'm like, "Yes, I know they're very capable, and we can talk to them like they're an adult." So,
Like they're human beings. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that's the thing that um Tessa has told me too. Like she just kind of learned that like people just truly don't understand sometimes. You
that's
would
true,
hope
and
like
that's
people
like
that are
that's
in
the
yeah, people in your industry, you would hope you would hope that they would be understanding, that you could talk to them like they're regular, like, talk to them like they're 2 years old.
yeah,
But some people, like when they do talk about, autism or anything, sometimes it's just, they don't know much about it. And,
yeah,
people might not be like gravitating towards them because they don't know how to handle the situation. They don't know how to, well, I don't know how to like talk to that person. Like it doesn't seem like they want to talk to me. And it's like, yeah, I get it, you know. Um, but I think people mean well at the end of the day too.
no, it's true, and Tessa's right, like, you should assume positive intent, right? Like, a lot of people don't know, and they don't know how to, like, interact or, like, what a person might know or not know.
Yeah.
I do have a small story because this matches, but I had a kid, this was, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, but he, had, like, a car service bringing him because he lived really far from school, and, his driver, like, came up to me and was like, "I can't get him out of the car. He won't get out for me," and I'm like, of this happens a lot too. It's like, the kid, and so whoever can't get them to do something will just be like, "Oh, just ask Blake, like, she'll know how to get him to do XYZ or whatever," and I'm like I feel like sometimes I'm, like, the only one that can make something happen at work, you know?
Yeah.
But, anyways, the driver was like, "I need you to get he won't get out of the car." And so I'm like, "Okay, I gotta, like, drop what I was doing." I get to the door and I was like, "I'm gonna take your iPad if you can't get up and get into class." And he immediately I didn't touch him, I didn't, like and the driver was like, "He can hear you?" Like and I was like, "Yes." His ears work perfectly.
So I speak in a different language to
Yeah,
them.
he was, like, so shocked. He was just like, "He can hear you? I had no idea." Like, and I mean, and at that moment, like, it was annoying to me because 'cause I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Of
like
course he can hear you," like, just because he's nonverbal and whatever, you know? Um, but I remember, like, telling my boss because I'm like, "Dude, this is" your job is, like, driving someone with disabilities, like, to and from school. That's, like, your
yeah,
job, like and I remember my boss telling me, like, that's just, like, an opportunity for you to educate people essentially, like,
yeah,
show them how it is, and, I've that's, like just like you were saying, like Tessa said, like, people just they don't know. They don't know what they don't know, right? So,
yeah. And then
anyway.
they mean well, like they're kind of like, oh, like, or they're suddenly surprised about something, but at the end of the day, like, I think that's why I wanted to just shed some light on it a little bit because I think it's important. I think it's just important and especially because I feel more strongly about it because of Wyatt,
Right.
and for Tessa too, being in that and just kind of understanding it, that they're people too, and treat them like people, and
Mhm.
treat their parents like they're people too. They're going through the same struggles you're going through. It's just they're going through it a little bit more than your
Yeah.
regular kid. Yeah.
No, that is I mean, at the end of the day, like, I go home, I send kids on the bus, and then I go home, right? Like,
Yeah.
families families have to function throughout the night and then get up and go to work or get up and take care of their other kids and you know, I I I get to send them on their way and go home. So it is like a good reminder to like the families that we serve to just remember that this is their 365 24/7, and
Yeah.
summers and breaks and for forever. So,
But I'm sure I hope that you get enough appreciation from parents and um people around you, that the kids that you are taking care of, or the students and the people that you're taking care of, that they truly do appreciate what you do. And like I said, just wanted to shed some light on it. And I know that's something that you and me have kind of like talked about off the pod and stuff like that. And it was just, I think this pod, I just want to always bring light to the things that are important to me, and the things that, like I always say with my friend, I'm never going to stop talking about my friend that passed away and
mhm,
made me the reason I'm doing this podcast. And at some point, I want to shed more light onto that suicide and um, why it stinks, but how we should feel about it, the people that are going through it, the people that got left behind. But, and it's the same thing with, even I want to have one with Tessa where we go in depth about it even more, and
mhm.
the day to
That'd be
day,
cool.
and um, maybe even you two both talking about it, and both of your frustrations with people and things that people do. But I was
Yeah, I
glad
mean,
to talk
yeah.
about it,
Yeah, I mean, I think what I've learned with parents over the years is like you need to be on their team at the end of the day. Parents just need to feel like you're on their team and that you care about their kid and then everything else really I mean, as long as I'm doing my job, like everything else really falls into place. I've had a couple parents over the years that just I don't think anything or anyone would have made them happy, but I have a very small handful of those parents that I've dealt with. I think, um, that, you know, I've learned to just get to know them just like I get to know their kid and what, do they need a picture during the school day of their kid doing something cool or smiling or having fun at school, or do they need like a text? Do they need an email at the end of the day? Do they need me to call them once a month and just check on them? Like every
yeah,
parent and family is different, just like every kid's different. And you just, kind of got to go that extra mile and make sure that they trust you and know that you're going to take care of their kid.
yeah,
So, and then everything else just pretty much takes care of itself.
falls into place. Hopefully. um, well, dude, we have so much more to talk about, but
Yeah.
that's for other pods. We have plenty of pods.
Yeah, I know. That went by
It goes by
so
so
fast.
fast.
Yeah.
But I'm really really happy that you were able to come on, and like I said, we have so much more to talk about, and fun things, and um yeah, and plenty more to come. Like I said, you're since I have this avenue now, I'm able to get you on here. Hopefully
Anytime,
anytime. Okay?
anytime, day or night, morning, evening.
Not morning, day or night.
Yeah. But no, I'm super excited. I'm super proud of you for doing this and even talking about it. I remember you talking about this for years and years. I'm super
Yeah.
proud of you for like just getting it done and making it work and yeah, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I was last time when you guys came down for making his wedding, talking to Trevor about it a little bit, and kind of just like explaining to him like why I do it. And I just have to constantly remind myself that I just want to share people's stories, um, share my own stories, um, try to make people understand certain things or help me understand um, new things and new relationships and not be so close-minded to certain things, maybe try to understand where certain people are coming from and stuff like that, and um, definitely help. The one thing I do need to do is, like, I feel like I need to read more books because I feel like that helps with topics, and definitely getting new and fresh people that I don't know who they are.
Mhm.
um, that's more of a challenge, but we're getting there. I just got to remind myself this is also for fun too. Like, I just love doing this. That's like
Yeah.
you and me just hung out right now for a little bit, or we did a fun little voice call. Um,
Yeah.
so just people are listening now.
Yeah, people are listening to our
To
conversation.
our phone conversation. But yeah, thank you for coming on. And do you have any shout outs? Or I always try to give people the opportunity.
Shout outs. I mean, we talked about so many people, but
Shout out to your 30 dogs, dude.
I know.
I gotta say,
Yeah,
shout out
there's
to
one right
Kona.
there.
Shout out to Kona. Like, Kona, I miss Kona. She was
Yeah.
always um that was my little bud, dude.
Yeah, when we lived in OB,
When I was folding
Kylie.
my laundry, she wouldn't let me,
Oh
like, not
yeah,
do my
that's
laundry.
right.
That's when you and Trev and Tay lived in that other place. The one next to Phil's.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yep.
What was
Yeah.
that,
No.
off the 15, I think it was?
Yeah, Rancho Bernardo. Yeah, we lived in Rancho
Yeah.
Bernardo. Yeah.
Yeah, like, she would not let me fold my laundry. I was like, "Can I
No,
fold my laundry?" But
no.
that's, like, because she didn't like that when I was on the ground, she'd be like, "It's playtime. We're gonna play."
Yeah. No, she'll knock people's phones out of their hands. She needs attention. It's like she'll die if she doesn't have it.
So it's Kona, Bailey,
Kona,
and then
Bailey, and then Oakley.
Thomas,
Yeah, and then
Jayhem.
yeah, Jay.
My dog's name is Jayhem.
Yeah, no, we have three.
3.
We have Kona. I think she's almost 6. She'll be 6
Yeah.
in next month. She'll be 6, and then Bailey is 4, about to be 4, and Oakley is 2.
Wow.
So yeah, we do have a lot of dogs. It's a lot. Definitely, if you're interested and enjoy vacuuming, get long-haired dogs
If you
because
just love a good vacuum, a good shark
if
vacuum,
you just want hair on everything and in your mouth and your eyeballs, and if you just
get
really
these
love to
dogs.
just get Australian Shepherds, get as many long-haired dogs as you can, and you will be happy.
But so shout out to them.
All right, shout out to my kids.
Yeah. Shout out to the furry kids. Also shout out to Trev.
Oh yeah, shout out to Trev. You should have Trev on the pod.
I do. We were talking a little bit. I want to have him on. We
Yeah,
could
you should.
talk a little bit. I don't know too much. I would like him to explain to me a little bit of the magic, the gathering stuff. I don't really know that stuff, so I like
I
to.
don't either, but you should ask him. He would know, and he'd love to talk about it.
But thanks for coming on, Blake, and I appreciate it, and many more to come. This is just a snippet, people. A
Just a little
snippet.
bit. Okay,
Or
well, love ya.
this is the last time you're gonna see her on here. This is it.
No, this is the
Get
first and
used to it.
last. This is first and last. You'll never
Get
see me
used to this
again.
because she's done, dude. No, but thank you so much. And yeah, everybody, I have to remind myself to do this. It's so dumb, but smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell
Like and
notification,
subscribe.
like and subscribe, punch that like button as hard as you can, and um, hit that bell notification so you can get notifications when your podcasts come out.
Well, I'm glad you got that over with. That would be
I
really hard
hate
for
the
me to do
promo.
too.
Hate the promo, but I got to do it.
Yeah, you
Because you don't
got
want
it.
to be the dude like, dude, just smash that like button. Here we are again. Like as soon as you turn on a YouTube video, that's how they are.
Uh,
What's going on? What did you army soldiers? I got to call my listeners something, but I don't know what it is yet. Maybe they'll
oh,
call themselves something. What a doers, or
what a doers.
I don't know about that. That might be a little.
It's kind of like, you know.
you know,
We'll think about it. We'll get on
we'll,
it.
we'll
We'll
let
think
the
about
what a doers think about it.
it.
So, all
And then they
right,
could
y'all.
vote.
Yeah, we should do a little poll or something.
All right. Well, this was so fun. We should do this a million times more. Hopefully the power will stay on the whole time and we won't have any power outage issues.
Yeah, I definitely want to get you. We should definitely do like a Taylor one. You and Tay.
Cody, that's such a good idea. That would be really fun. And then we could talk about her
That'd be
getting yelled at.
classic.
Yeah, just classic. Yeah, let's do that one next.
We'll do that one.
Okay.
We'll
Well,
see.
love ya.
All right. Peace out, y'all.